Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Wednesday, June 19th, 2024. Making the headlines tonight, Belize under excessive rainfall and strong thunderstorm watch as bad weather rolls in tonight. GOB going to the CCJ over LPG Court of Appeal decision, and a young mechanic fatally shot in Belize City. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Brothers Abet is celebrating Super Handy Dads for the entire month of June with super handy deals that just can't be beaten. Give that super handy dad the perfect gift from our super selection, like 15% off all power tools and hand tools store-wide, 15% off track car batteries, 20% off Eureka Vats, 20% off Decon Matte Emulsion, and 25% off Valspar and Dutch Boy paints. Plus, for every $50 you spend, get a chance to win $500 worth of tools for 3 super special dads. So give dad his best Father's Day gift yet from Brothers Abet. Come in or reach out to us today. Brothers Abet wishes all super handy dads a super happy Father's Day.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Your personal online banking experience is about to get even better. Introducing the new Personal Atlantic Online, reimagined and redesigned. But that's not all. Something great is coming your way. Bank your way with any of our digital channels and save time for what matters most.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
this plan. I can't left this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan.
Welcome back with your news. I am MarKeisha Young. A broad area of low pressure is over Belize and the region, and with it will come heavy rains and thunderstorms. It is the same low pressure that has called into the area the first named storm of the season, Tropical Storm Alberto. But Alberto poses no threat to Belize. However, bad weather will be approaching the country late tonight. Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon explained more.
We are or have been under a broad area of low pressure, which is typically referred to at this time of the year as the Central American Gyre. That's a circulation covering northern Central America, the Yucatan, into the southern Gulf of Mexico, and it creates a lot of moisture and instability over the area. From that system, we have already had one tropical storm forming, which is Tropical Storm Alberto, the first named storm of the season. That storm formed in the Gulf of Mexico and is moving away from Belize. It is no direct threat to the country. It is forecast to make landfall over Mexico sometime late tonight into early tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. However, the broad area of low pressure remains over us, and coupled with that, we will have an area of low pressure at the higher levels, which is currently over the Bahamas area, extending across into eastern Cuba. That system is moving rapidly to the west-southwest, and by tomorrow around midday, we will be under what we call the divergent side of that system. Basically, it's the side where you have a lot of air pumping up into the atmosphere, creating a lot of thunderstorm activity. Perfect environment coupled with the moisture and already the low level trough that we are experiencing to produce significant rainfall.
While Gordon was not able to say exactly which area will be affected the most, he did urge Belizeans to be prepared as a lot of rainfall in a short period is expected, which will cause flooding in some parts of the country.
Forecast is showing that rains will start later, around after midnight into early morning, and gradually increase throughout the day tomorrow. Some of the models are showing totals of up to 4 to 6 inches with isolated maximum of 10 inches within a 12 to 24-hour period. That's a significant amount of rainfall. We cannot specify exactly over which city or town will get the most rainfall. However, indications are that the central and northern parts of the country will be the most affected. So all municipalities from, let's say, Dangriga northward, including the inland areas, Belmopan, San Ignacio, Belize City, San Pedro, Corozal, Orange Walk, and the villages in between should be on alert for heavy rainfall and the possibility of flooding as we move into tomorrow. Should expect flooding. Of course, this department is not the department that does the exact details in terms of flooding. That's the hydrology department. But from the excessive amount of rainfall that we're expecting, we do expect flooding. And I want to add also that we have issued an excessive rainfall watch due to the expected rainfall, and also strong thunderstorm watch, because this will be accompanied by a strong thunderstorm, very strong gusty winds. We are looking at winds of up to 20 to 30 knots tomorrow, especially during the afternoon into evening hours along coastal and offshore areas. And that will result in very, very rough and hazardous sea conditions. So, of course, we are going to be issuing a small craft warning, advising mariners to be extremely careful or to remain in safe harbor during that time. So again, we advise residents to pay keen attention and to monitor the weather very carefully.
It is expected that parts of the country would still experience normal rains after the system passes over the country.
Well, the rainy season is here. It's not upon us. But we do not, the peak will be tomorrow. That's what the models are indicating. So rains will continue on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but there will be improvement. It won't be as bad as tomorrow. From all indications, we will get the peak of the rainfall activity, at least for this particular system, tomorrow. But as I mentioned before, we are in the rainy season, so we do expect that there will be more rain events coming our way.
The Belize City Emergency Management Organization has issued a note to residents as the country has been placed under an excessive rainfall and strong thunderstorm watch by the National Meteorological Service. SEMA advises that residents exercise extreme caution as flooding is forecasted for low-lying areas and urges that commuters be cautious until the water recedes. SEMA also advises that residents of low-lying areas in Belize City remain vigilant and stay updated with alerts from NEMO, SEMA, and the National Meteorological Service. Meanwhile, according to Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon, no tropical cyclone threat to Belize is expected in the next week or so. However, he cautions that residents should still be on the alert and be prepared. He said that other weather systems can also bring about damages.
We do not see any tropical cyclone threat. That's tropical storm hurricane within a week period of time now. But of course, we keep monitoring weather, as some people say, is unpredictable. So we need to be on the alert, and our residents also need to be on the alert to keep updated. Forecast models update every 6 hours, and they do so for a reason, because new information leads to new forecasts. So we need to keep alert. But again, based on the current forecast, the current projections, there is no threat within at least a week for us in terms of a tropical cyclone. But again, I want to reiterate that it does not take a hurricane or a tropical storm for us to get significant rainfall and flooding. The event that we are forecasting for tomorrow, Thursday, will be a very significant event. We do not want our residents to become complacent and to say, well, it's not a tropical storm. It is going to be a very significant event with potentially devastating consequences. So we need to be on the alert.
The government of Belize will appeal a significant decision of the Belize Court of Appeal handed down on April 30th this year regarding the butane industry. 4 former importers of butane with origins in Mexico and Central America had taken the government to court to challenge the monopoly of the National Gas Company Limited that was introduced via legislation in 2019. Under the new law, the 4 importers could not meet the criteria to import, as they were required to establish a storage facility for a minimum of 1.5 million US gallons. They were therefore relegated to merely retailing butane they would purchase from NGCL. Their last import date was April 30th, 2020. At the High Court, then acting Chief Justice Michelle Arana ruled that the company's constitutional right to property was violated and ordered $10.89 million in damages. Both parties appealed the decision, and the Court of Appeal ruled that the importer's right to work was breached with the onerous fetter of a costly storage facility. However, it ordered that damages be relitigated. Here is Attorney General Anthony Sylvester Jr.
There was an application for leave to appeal to the CCJ, and that was filed. I do believe that application for leave was granted, and so that matter now proceeds to the Caribbean Court of Justice for further determination on very, very important key constitutional issues interfacing between what may be regarded as the right to work, and vis-a-vis the government or a state's right to regulate a particular industry. So these are very, very interesting and also important constitutional matters that the government has submitted to the Caribbean Court of Justice to make a final determination on.
20-year-old mechanic Jahim Fitzgibbon died as a result of gunshot injuries sustained in the St. Martin's de Porres area of Lacox Boulevard in Belize City. He and his father, Nimrod Fitzgibbon, also a mechanic, were standing near a van they were fixing at around 7 p.m. when a gunman came off Josh Street and fired at them. Both were hit, but Jahim succumbed to his injuries while receiving treatment. The senior Fitzgibbon was treated and released. After the break, AG says changes in the senior courts have had the intended effects. Stay with us.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
Design Depot is celebrating its 3-year anniversary. This May
When you get your prescription, what are the best place to go?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City.
When the drugstore then close up the night and on Sunday and holidays, which one open?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City.
When you need somebody to talk to about your medication, who you are turn to?
Bam City.
We have been serving the general public for more than 30 years with fast, professional, and efficient services. We will continue doing so with honesty, integrity, and consistency.
This is the loyal Freetown Drugstore crew, always happily serving the general public at 28 Freetown Road, Belize City. Telephone 223-2876.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
The government intends to introduce new legislation regarding the magistracy later this year in hopes of infusing more efficiency at that level of the judiciary, similar to what recently transpired at the High Court and Court of Appeal level when the Senior Courts Bill was introduced. Attorney General Anthony Sylvester Jr. today told Crime News XTV that the changes have worked out as intended. He also remarked that while Belize has perennially had a shortage of judges and magistrates, we have never had this number of judges before.
There was a new cohort of High Court judges, and it's unprecedented. I think there are about 12 or so High Court judges. We never had that many High Court judges before, and so we are, I think we can say, I mean, when you watch the news on a nightly basis, you see there are reports of cases being heard, being determined, with a flurry of cases being disposed of. There is in train a plan to as well augment the magistracy. So similar to the approach that has been taken by the with respect to the senior courts. We have planned in train a legislation which seeks to have the magistracy be operate in a more efficient manner, and so we should see before the end of this year a new magistrates court bill. As things currently stand, there is a piece of legislation known as the Inferior Courts Act and the District Courts Act and the Summary Jurisdiction Procedure Act. Those various pieces of legislation deals with the procedure, as we say, to how magistrates court proceedings are to be undertaken. So there is a move to have those various pieces of legislation be repealed. And you have one comprehensive omnibus legislation. And the purpose of that is twofold. Firstly, for the public purposes. You see, in contemporary times, we try to allow for the ordinary member of the public to be able to not only hear about the law, but for they themselves to be able to have access to what the law is. We have on the Attorney General's website a search engine, so you could actually search any piece of law, and you yourself, you could acquaint yourself with the law, and you'll be able to know how the various processes are to be engaged. So that aspect and that reform, as it were, of the magistracy is something that is being undertaken, and certainly, as I indicated, we hope to have that bill be enacted before the end of this year.
A few weeks ago, we told you about Crown Counsels in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions being unhappy over the process to appoint staff who would fill 2 new posts established by the Judicial and Legal Services Commission to assist the DPP. We are told that prosecutors already employed within the office applied for the posts but appeared to have been passed over as the process was started anew, and the applicants never heard back on their prospects of getting the job, that is. While the Attorney General has no say regarding the decisions of the GLSC, we asked if he was aware of the discontent about this issue.
I haven't heard myself any specific rumblings that relates to that, but what I will say is that so there has been the creation of the additional post of Deputy and Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions. Now, government, when there's how it works is that there will be a request from a particular department for the creation of certain posts. The Attorney General's Ministry will support it. That matter is sent to Finance and Public Service, or in this case, the Judicial Service Commission. And once approval for the creation of the post has been obtained, then that matter obviously will go to the position being filled. Now, government then at that point is not involved in the selection process. So constitutionally, there is a body known as the Public Service Commission, or the Judicial and Legal Services Commission in this particular instance, which is responsible for the terms and conditions of judicial and legal officers, and that includes as well the appointment of such persons. So those are matters which fall directly within the purview of that body. Indeed, appreciate, of course, as is to be expected, if someone just were to apply for a position, then that application should be received and should go to the appropriate processes. That is all I can say with respect to that, as it relates to the process and how things work or ought to work, no?
But would your ministry step in as it did the last time in relation to salaries, if in fact the crowns or prosecutors in the office of the DPP were to threaten that they would go on strike as a result of their dissatisfaction with that process?
Well, let me say this firstly. The Crowns will know that it is unlawful for them to engage in strike action, and I think that as attorneys and being subjected to the Judicial Legal Services regulation, that goes without saying. That is quite apparent. But there are processes and there are ways in which persons could. I suppose if someone applied for a position, I think a simple thing that can be done is to simply just to write to ask for an update. So there are mechanisms and ways in which persons could I suppose seek some guidance or clarity from that particular body.
We also asked the AG if the salary and benefits concerns of the Crown Councils in the office of the DPP were resolved from earlier this year when there were reports of sick outs.
Again, this goes back to a commitment that was made by government in 2012, where there would have been some salary adjustment, and that has been given effect to, and that was given effect to in February. I think in February, the salaries of the crowns were adjusted to that which was promised some years back. Now, as you are aware, that government is in the process of a full and thorough review of the salaries and of not only Crown Council but the public servants in a whole. And one of the things that I can say is that government, contrary to what people may think, government does not have a chest with $1 billion or $2 billion or $100 billion and can just simply take out and pay people and provide whatever requests. There are processes that has to be engaged and certainly what I can say is that government is committed and to carry that process to its end, and to ensure that there is parity across the public service as it relates to the issue of salary.
Cabinet has approved a pilot project under the UNDP for victim offender mediation as an alternate dispute resolution mechanism within the criminal justice system. Today, Attorney General Anthony Sylvester Jr. explained how this would work and shared that it goes in tandem with the new legislation that allows for plea deals.
So there's a new approach now to what they refer to as criminal mediation. So again, so the victim and the accused through the processes of the court, they're able to have what is referred to as restorative justice, and that piece of legislation allows for that. You see, because again, we need to move from the previous perspective or the previous approach that, well, you have to go to court, you have to stretch out the matter, you have to just see how long the matter could proceed in the hope that maybe the witness may change his man or her mind and not want to go to court. We appreciate that these have caused backlogs to be at that level that they ought not to be, and so that piece of legislation is a criminal procedure plea bargaining and plea discussion and plea bargaining legislation has been very effective so far. It has been proven in other jurisdictions to work effectively, and we hope to see more use of it and its utility to serve and to inure to the benefit of the entire country, with matters being able to be removed off the dockets of the various courts. The notion of criminal mediation comes about from that which exists already in terms of civil mediation. So in civil cases, parties have a matter before the court, and the judge may look at the matter and say, look, this is a matter that perhaps could be resolved, and the reasons may vary. Well, at times parties may their interfacing and engaging may be a better way in terms of resolving a matter, because at the end of the day, so we don't have in our criminal justice system the death penalty. So no one who will be sentenced to death, no one will die after going through a court case and being sentenced. That means then that except for those who are sentenced to imprisonment for life without the possibility of parole, a person will return back to society. So again, within our stream of consciousness and our appreciation that regardless of what happened, that person will be taken through a process where they have to be rehabilitated and they return back to society. So then, why not start that process from before the case ends, where you have the offender, which is what happens in mediation. The offender is given an opportunity for him to account for the wrong that he or she did.
The AG clarified, though, that it will be the court which will determine which matters will be sent to criminal mediation. Chief Engineer Evandale Moody shared that with all the land clearings happening upstream of the Manatee Bridge along the Coastal Plains Highway, they expect there could be challenges in the future at that point whenever intense rains occur. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Infrastructure Development went on a mission to obtain aerial views of the land clearings in the vicinity of the approach to the Soldier Creek Bridge, where a culvert could not withstand the pressure of the waters that accumulated there due to land clearings upstream, as well as the loss of forest cover due to the wildfires. Moody shared those photographs with us showing the significant amount of acreage that has been cleared for development. Moody told us that they will also have to assess the situation of the Manatee Bridge to be prepared for any eventuality there.
So of course now we have to look at the capacity of those drains that we have there. We have to look at the capacity of the Manatee Channel itself to cope with all the flood water that will now be coming down, because that water will not be infiltrated into the earth anymore. Has to be displaced somewhere, and so that has to be to the Manatee Creek. So it's all about the development that is occurring along the coastal highway, and I think it's occurring all over the country.
After the break, former Coast Guard sentenced to 58 months for attempted murder. Stay tuned.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
When you buy your prescription, what are the best place to go?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City.
When the drugstore then close up the night and on Sunday and holidays, which one open?
Freetown Drugstore.
Bam City.
When you need somebody to talk to about your medication, who you are turn to?
Bam City.
We have been serving the general public for more than 30 years with fast, professional, and efficient services. We will continue doing so with honesty, integrity, and consistency.
This is the loyal Freetown Drugstore crew, always happily serving the general public at 28 Freetown Road, Belize City. Telephone 223-2876.
Make light work lighter and quicker with switch technology from Axi Power Tools. Axi Switch technology breaks the bondage of power cords and grants you the luxury of freedom and precision. Switch one battery across all your Axi line power tools effortlessly, allowing for quick and efficient work. Cut the cords. Choose efficiency with Axi Switch technology. Only at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
Your personal online banking experience is about to get even better. Introducing the new Personal Atlantic Online. Reimagine and redesign. But that's not all. Something great is coming your way. Bank your way with any of our digital channels and save time for what matters most.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
The Caribbean Natural Resources Institute, along with Environmental Conservation Organization, FEMA, out of Chile, organized a free one-week course for attorneys in the Caribbean who are interested in environmental law to learn about climate litigation and the Escazú Agreement. The in-person course will run from June 24th to June 28th. Yaya Marin Coleman, chairperson of the UBAD Educational Foundation, learned of the course through her network and shared it around, and was delighted to learn that Belize attorney Lisa Mendez, as well as Carissa Samuel out of Antigua, who works with Global Legal Action Network to assist Barbuda land defenders, were selected to participate.
Of course, I was mad excited because Leslie Mendez has worked with UF before and continues to work at UF. So I sent it to Leslie. She has a busy schedule. I'm like, I hope Leslie can make it. And then I met a new sister, Carissa, I think her name is, from out of Antigua. She works with the Barbudan Land Defenders legal team. So imagine my shock when both Leslie and, it was the Global Legal Action Network representative, Sarah, who told me that Leslie said she was accepted. Carissa said she was accepted. And I'm like, what? This is big because we know that one of the challenges, not having legal representatives or credible legal representatives in Belize's case, who has a track record of working for people who oftentimes cannot pay, not have the money for pay for legal representation. And it doesn't always have to be a court case. Legal action could, have a number of ways. And that's one of the things that we need to learn as working class people. And not always one court matter. Sometimes it could be one letter from one attorney that could make a difference. There are laws that we don't know exist that could benefit our causes if we knew. So I hope that there will be more Belizean attorneys with the credibility, with the passion that Leslie has, because we need representation as marginalized and impacted people.
Attorney Mendez spoke about how she can benefit from the course and how the knowledge gained can also impact her work in the benefit of climate justice for all. Mendez believes that international convention and treaties are no good if no one uses them for advocacy and to reform laws. Furthermore, she says if communities meant to be empowered don't know these conventions and treaties exist or how to use them, they are even less meaningful.
Definitely a regional effort to build the capacity of the legal fraternity regionally as to how to be able to, one, become more aware of what are these standards, these environmental standards that we could start pushing and that we can start using as well to sort of interpret what our role is and as well as the role of various regulatory agencies for sure. When it comes to these types of treaties, especially those treaties that are intended to empower and to benefit communities, they even more so don't mean anything if the communities don't know that they exist and don't know how to use it. And in terms of the role of attorneys, because these are legal documents, we need to be able to learn more about how we can use them and be more comfortable in managing the concepts and managing the language and the new developments that really come about through these international instruments. And ESCASO is definitely one of them. The main function of ESCASO is to enhance participation and to be able to secure access to information. And in fact, even the media could use ESCASO. And so again, it doesn't really give you a specific outcome, in terms of an environmental proposal. It doesn't give you a specific outcome, but it does, what it intends to do is to help enhance your knowledge as to how to participate in it. What I am hoping that the workshop will do is to be able to, as a team, as a group of attorneys in one space that presumably have all worked in an environmental case of some sort, for us to be able to share experiences, for us to be able to share strategies, for us to be able to just share different perspectives as to what has worked and what has not worked. What has been some of the bottlenecks that we have faced, and how is it that we can collectively perhaps consider how we could have used ESCASO better, or also perhaps identifying some of the things that ESCASO doesn't give us, and some of the things that perhaps we kind of have to be able to look at from a different perspective or other different legal principles. And so the idea is also to have a network so that it's not only one person sort of taking on what really can at times be very complex legal matters, and as well as very complex, I think, complex social and political considerations that happen on the ground, as well as economic, because it really is a daunting task to take on multinational, multi-millionaire corporations. And that's often what we're talking about when it comes to big development projects. And those development projects are the ones that can benefit us the most, but can also injure us the most.
After a lengthy back and forth before the court on Tuesday, former Coast Guard 33-year-old Karen Zib was fatally sentenced for the attempted murder of a colleague back on Easter Monday in 2015. Zib was convicted of the crime on March 13th of this year. During the incident, 37-year-old Petty Officer Kurt Hyde was shot once to the back of his head with a M4 carbine rifle. The incident occurred as he was driving a boat from San Pedro to Belize City. Hyde survived, but he sustained permanent damage to facial nerves that left him without feeling in the affected area. Zib was sentenced to 4 years and 10 months by Justice Candice Nanton at the Belize High Court. Justice Nanton started with a sentence of 13 years, then deducted 6 years for a lengthy court process, deducted 2 more years due to her mental state, and took into consideration her upstanding character and her service with the Coast Guard. Following the judgment, Zib's attorney, Arthur Saldivar, indicated that they would appeal the sentence. On Tuesday at the Belize High Court, 20-year-old Kristen Francis pleaded guilty before Justice Derek Saldivar for the murder of 29-year-old Adrian Pook. Pook was fatally shot in front of his yard in Belize City on April 30th, 2023. Francis was caught and detained at the scene by Pook's father, who is an ex-police officer. Before the court and through his attorney Arthur Saldivar, Francis expressed his remorse and emphasized his young age and clean record before the incident. He also added that Francis was awaiting an opportunity to apologize to Pook's parents. Francis pleaded guilty with the hope that he would receive a reduced sentence. Justice Sylvester ordered a psychiatric evaluation, a social inquiry report, as well as a victim impact statement. Sentencing is scheduled for July 16, 2024. Mother of 2, 28-year-old Leanne Elizabeth Davis was accused of fatally stabbing her sister-in-law, 24-year-old Venetia Steen, in an incident which occurred on April 4, 2021 in Gracie Rock Village. Davis reportedly stabbed Steen 6 times, puncturing her lung. On Tuesday, before Justice Candice Nanton at Belize High Court, Davis was found guilty of manslaughter. In court, Davis, who as represented by attorney Leroy Banner, argued that she was provoked, that is, which led Justice Nanton to find her guilty of manslaughter and not murder. Justice Nanton ordered a psychiatric evaluation and social inquiry report, with sentencing scheduled for July 29, 2024. Davis has been on remand since 2021 and reportedly has not seen her sons during that time. The boys have been living with their father. And during May and into June, when parts of the country were being severely impacted by wildfires, the Ministry of Infrastructure Development was called away from its road maintenance works nationwide to assist. It provided heavy machinery to clear fire paths. We asked Chief Engineer Evandale Moody about those efforts.
As you all know, the Ministry of Infrastructure, under the leadership of Julius, we're working everywhere. And so everybody needs our help. And we have to answer our own questions when we have problems, right? So yes, we're helping Nemo. We help them in Punta Gorda, and we also help them in the Cayo district with our heavy equipments and also our water truck. And so we have tried to do our best as a ministry to provide that support to any other ministry that asks us for that assistance. And in terms of fuel, normally we would provide that to our equipment. So that is provided by our funds within our budget.
On Tuesday, Taiwan contributed 100,000 Belize dollars to the National Emergency Management Organization. The funds will go towards the recovery efforts of those impacted by the fires in southern and western Belize. The government has indicated it will purchase seeds, seedlings, and other vital supplies with the monies so as to assist farmers to restoring their livelihoods and rebuilding in the affected areas. And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am MarKeisha Young. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.